Now we have the clicking game of absolute rubbish. There we go. Yeah. Now see if we can. So I just made another ostrich egg. Looks pretty good. Actually, I actually did pretty good in regards to opening up this time. It didn't take too long. That looks pretty good. Just took a big knife, fixed it down, and you just have to be careful about your fingers. Anyway, yeah, I'm not. Hopefully, it will be soft cooked, but kind of lost the time. I kind of forgot to. So we might have a hard cooked egg, which is fine if that's the case. Yeah, I think seems like we might have a hard cooked egg. For the most part. Yeah. Oh well. That's what kind of throwing it a little around here. Sadly, going a little back. So yeah, maybe we could do it like this. It's hot. Oh my. See if we can. See if we can dig some of the egg out. Yeah, there's some softness here. Okay, so we still do have some softness in there, but a lot of the yellow thing is clearly, hard boiled. Sadly, around 45 minutes or maybe even less in regards of it. But yeah, oh no, I need a bigger plate for this. Problem is it's pretty hot. Oh my. Oh my. Oh wait, just kind of a little messy here. Coffee and all that. Oh, but who cares, Because we're not going to impress anyone in regards to things. Because women are just, for the most part, disgusting whores. So who cares about in regards to things, right? Who cares? Oh yeah, here we go with the yellow. Let's get some more whitey thing stuff here. As well. I could do it in one way or another way, but I was thinking in regards to maybe trying some. Yeah, we still could have a good amount of white in there. You can put some tomato thing. Oh, let's just take some coffee before. There we go. And then we use it like that. I just wrote in regards to this nonsense in regards to this woman. Women are just absolutely insane. They do everything and anything that makes them disgusting. So see here, model request. Actually, maybe I can, show the. I guess I really shouldn't give her any, because they just want, it's just no worth in regards of, women are just bullshitters, and why waste your time really on it? But these days it's just terrible. But this is like this woman, apparently a so-called model, model requests 5,000 men to apply for boyfriend role. First and foremost, boyfriend, give me a break with the bullshit. But all fail 7 key criteria. I think the guy that is called Joker or something, or, Joker, he made some videos here and there on things. I think he went through some of the list, and it's like a bullshit list. They're typical bullshit list of women, like women are just insane, Of course, these days they're just whores. They're boss babe bitches, and they kind of don't don't need a man and yet need a man anyway, and all the bullshit, just give me, no peace, left in regards of, do women ever actually ask what could they do for men? No, I guess not, because then they would cook a good meal. I think actually would be a pretty good first date that women actually was to show their cooking skills, Because why go out and buy some food? Show what you can do in the kitchen, right? And then because if you can't cook, what's the point, right? And if she can't, fix your clothing and all that, what's the point? If she doesn't want children, what's the point? If she doesn't want to be a woman, what's the point, right? There's no point in continuing with the bullshit. If she wants to be a boss babe and the first thing, of course, if she has any money, she should pretty much give you the money as a man, because it's not going to work anyway. Because of course, okay, you're going to pay, but if she has any money, you're going to take it. It's going to be like a gift thing, because then, so, and even anything she earns is yours. As a man, it goes to your account. Doesn't work the other way around. You as a man will pay for the dinner, but whatever she earns is going to your account. Like you can call it a pimp or whatever, but it's just how it should be. Because women don't want to pay for, and it's not blah 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 blah, right? And all the bullshit and all the madness and delulu and all that. So that's the way to go. If she has any money, let's give it to the man, and then go from there. If she works, the money goes directly to the man, and then the man can, figure out how much he want to give the woman and all that. So if she want to work for another man outside the family and all that bullshit, right? Anyway, which is also, of course, in the past, it was called like a gift thing. If you found a woman and the woman had this salary for her as well, in some sense. So if you married the woman, you would also get the dough, as a beginning to help the marriage and all that. And yeah, and maybe she wasn't so good looking either, or something like that. So maybe it would be helpful a little in regards to dough. And of course, most women are just disgusting. I don't know why women think that they are the most beautiful gender and all that, while they're doing all the madness, to make them look beautiful. So-called look beautiful, actually make them look disgusting. Like the long fingernail thing, disgusting, totally turn off. In regards of fixing things in their, places and all that, or whatever, disgusting, it's filthy, or their buttocks and all that, whatever, and using a lot of money on such crap, that just makes them look disgusting. And yeah, but who's going to understand women? Well, they're delulu, just absolutely horse these days. And they will just call the government if there's any issue, because the government is more than helpful to help them out with their lies and deceptions and all that. Anyway, let's have a see here. Whoa, yummy yum. That's a good amount of, for one egg, and there's still some white in it. So I was just thinking of trying different kinds of ketchups. I have 4 different kinds. This is usually the one I would go with in the past. Let's have some ketchup on one side here. I don't know if we can divide it. It's not really a biggie. Here we have some Heinz ketchup. This was the BB's whatever. I can't pronounce it. Anyway, whatever. Let's have this one. Consistent. Yeah, there's a little difference, right? I guess the Heinz is a little hard. Yeah, it's going to be a little hard to actually keep it set up. Okay, let's just start with the Heinz and the BB's BB ketchup. Whatever it's called. Okay, let's get some. Egg, yummy, right? Cook your own food, right? Because women is apparently not going to do it. Yeah. Not good. Yeah, the Heinz ketchup is kind of is this more. As I was testing ketchups yesterday as well, last night, trying to figure out which one is actually the best. I probably can make a better one myself. And then of course you would know what is in it. Like, look at that. And we have some yellowness, but sadly the egg did not become totally soft cooked. But yeah. That's still good. So this is an ostrich egg. Maybe I should actually fix the camera a little over here so we can see the ostrich egg, right? And we have, there we go. Yeah, anyway. So that's my 1 egg of the day, I guess. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know what it's missing. It's salt, of course. I give the other one thing a little salt as well. Salt, Himalaya salt. Let's try to get some salt here. Yeah. Just gives a little. Maybe I gave it a little too much. Oh yeah, egg. You know, the great thing with one egg is that you don't need to open one egg after another. Yummy, yummy. So I think this is my 4th egg or something. I think I have 6 left, you know. So I still have a couple of these eggs left, and you know, I tried it out. And it's interesting that you can just, you know, yeah, you know. I said I ruined the cholesterol, the yellow cholesterol, which is usually, as I understand it, the cholesterol is the best when it's actually soft and not hard cooked. It also tastes a lot better when it's soft cooked in regards to the yellow stuff and all that. Of course, half of the cell consists of cholesterol, as far as I know, because they will say, "Oh, cholesterol is so dangerous." Yeah, you know, you guys are full of bullshit, you know. Everything natural becomes dangerous and bad and all that, and all the unnatural things all of a sudden becomes the good things, you know. And here we have the other ketchup. Yeah. This BV's thing here, you know, this is the thing here. This was my prime ketchup in my youth. I guess they might have changed the recipe. I think they changed the recipe once at least in regards to that ketchup. Maybe actually twice. Maybe they changed it actually back to the old recipe. I can't remember. There was something in regards to that. And I remember testing the Benet, whatever, it's BV. I can't pronounce it, like Bewise, whatever. The B ketchup. Compared to the Heinz ketchup, and I preferred the other one in regards to the B ketchup, not the Heinz. So we have 2 other ketchups, but one of them is just this cheap one, and yeah, it doesn't taste so good. It tastes a little chemical. And then we have the last one, which apparently doesn't have that much tomato in it. So I'm not sure how that works out in regards to the ketchup. But that's the ecological. I don't know how they fill up with ketchup, so much ketchup, if there's not that much tomato in it, you know. Like the other 3 have over 60% of ketchup. Actually, I think there's a Heinz 62. The tomato, the cheap tomato ketchup has 61, and the BV's whatever, Bevice or whatever, has 65%. But the last one only had 17 or something like that. I can't remember. Let's see here, 16%. So it's like that's not much. Anyway, getting back to the woman thing, and I wrote to this, model request 5,000 men to apply for boyfriend role. Oh, give me a break with the bullshit of boyfriend. But all failed 7 key criteria, which as far as I know was just bullshit criteria of women bullshit, as usually as it goes, Women are full of bullshit. That's tend to be a thing, So I wrote, be another open-legged whore who gets a cat. Men are evil, wicked, and a hungry bear is much better, right? We know that's just how it is, right? Men are just evil and wicked, and well, I guess some of them are. But anyway, but it's just the madness of the bullshit of saying that, I don't know why I even use time on this, because it's just bullshit. Right? Waste time on this absolute madness of women, Anyway, we need some more ketchup. Anyway, we pretty much have gotten the rest of the ketchup here gone. So let's try the cheap one, right? See how that goes with the egg, Hey, there we go. Let's get some air. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the consistency seems a little darker. Maybe there's some brown sugar in it or something like that, because it seems to be some of the same ingredients that is pretty much in them. In regards to it. Oh yeah, let's get some salty salt, and not too much, but at least And I should have taken some water as well, although I have some coffee here, so we just take the egg off and just hot coffee, but it might have been pretty nice with some water as well in regard to the salt and all that. I kind of sadly forgot. Well, actually, I do have something when I'm thinking about it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, let's go. Yummy, yummy. There we go. Some water. Yeah, although water from the tap thing and all that, and of course there's a lot of nonsense in that. If you take it like a thing where you run, where you cook the water and all that, you will see how much bullshit there actually is in the water of disgusting, filthy particles. Nah. And this ketchup, this cheap ketchup, it kind of has like an aftertaste, Yeah. I know if they use some cheap vinegar or something like that. Yeah, but this is not. I don't think this is. What's going on with this ketchup? What is this aftertaste? Maybe it's the spice thing, or the vinegar. I don't know. But there's some, this ketchup, cheap ketchup, but it's just a weird taste in it, and I don't know what it is. And when you look at what is in it, compared to some of the other, it doesn't really. Of course, there's difference in regards to tomatoes, what kind of tomatoes you use and all that. It just has like, the aftertaste I don't like. So, I don't know what they. Yeah, the last kind of taste of this tomato ketchup, it's just, I don't know what it is, It seems somewhat a little chemical in its, but maybe it's just some kind of spice that maybe it's the vinegar they use that is a bad vinegar, or I don't know. But the aftertaste of it, it's just not. So yeah, if you guys wanna try out an ostrich egg, it's actually not bad, Although I think I would still prefer chicken eggs, but it's nice to just be able to, some of the ostrich eggs are even bigger than what I've gotten, and even the biggest eggs that I've gotten, I just, that is still, seems to be somewhat smaller than some of the other ostrich eggs I've seen. As a person, it's very hard to get through just one ostrich egg, It really fills you up. It's very condensed, And taste is a little different than chicken eggs, Yeah, let's have some water. That's good. And Jesus saves. Yep. And women are absolutely, they usually go with the feminist madness. The feminist rebellious bullshit madness was, hate against men, hate against womanhood. In regards to being whores, that they do that very good. Just send them to so-called education, and you can have a woman with a lot of high number of damage, and she probably also has become a boss babe feminist that hate God and all that, and doesn't take much, oh my, that's good. Anyway, the food, Anyway, in the old days, we kind of had women's schools that actually taught women good things, but those are kind of not there anymore. Now we just teach them to be sluts, rebellious sluts and whores, who have a high damage number, and further hating men and hating womanhood and real womanhood, feminine values, and hating God. And of course, if they get pregnant, they want to have the so-called right to murder that child, because that transgression apparently have to fall on the child. That's how disgusting they are, So they have murder in their hearts. They do also commit murder. They pride themselves of doing murder, and they pride themselves about being rebellious boss babes and all that. They can handle themselves and all that, while they can get some cats and all that. And be the total opposite of what a woman should be and all that. And they don't some of them clearly seems to don't understand why man doesn't want anything to do with them, which is actually pretty easy to understand. But anyway, women always complains. It doesn't matter what it is, they will complain. Most of them, it's like complaining, and complaining, right? Yeah, so because men are such evil creatures, apparently, right? We're so evil, we're just, yeah. And by the way, in regards to a man and a woman, they are never equal in a marriage. The man is set on top as a protection for the woman, because the woman have a way of doing emotional, idiotic things. We already saw it in the Garden of Eden, where the woman, Eve, or why can't I remember her real name? But anyway, in English, Eve, right? Adam and Chava. Yeah, so Chava took of the fruit, the forbidden fruit that they were told not to do, and then she gave to the man. Now that's the thing where the man has to say, no, I'm not going to eat of the fruit, because women tend to be easily misled by the devil compared to the man, and the devil tend to use the woman to get to the man. So the man has to say no. When the woman comes to say to her husband that I don't want a child and I want an abortion, the man is to say no, because it's murder. If the man hear what she wants and all that and is silent, or somewhat agreement of it, it's on his head, it's not on her head anymore. So the man has the last, for not, for things not going, wrong. Now, if the man says no and the woman does it, of course, then she didn't do what the man told her not to do. So then, of course, the man would be innocent in that level. But if the man is just silent when he hears it, or is in agreement of this murderous act, it's on his head now and not hers. So in regards of authority being above the woman, he also kind of gets the, so a man cannot just, accept what emotional women just goes on and murder in their hearts and all that, because that's not how we are. So, but of course, we also get the punishment for it if we don't lead in the way of righteousness compared to evil and wickedness, which women tends to, I guess, a lot of people these days falls for evil and wicked ways and rejecting the truth and running with darkness and lies and deceptions and whatnot. Just look at the last 4 years and all that, how criminal it was, and so few people standing up. Or, well, of course, when they censor us, then of course it's a little harder to see how many actually is out there, of course, because the people that would speak up, their voice is silenced by these bullshitters. Anyway, but this woman is like, it's just, you just think this is just probably just because you want some, waves out there. Hey, look at me, look at me, look at me. I'm a model, right? And I was like 5,000 and I was looking for a boyfriend. Like, boyfriend, give me a break with the bullshit. You know, boyfriend? No, boyfriend, yeah, you give me a break. Apply for boyfriend role, but all fail 7 key criteria, which, as far as I recall in regards, I think Joker read some of these criterias. It's just rubbish, just bullshit rubbish. Can you cook? Let's give it give some criteria. Can you cook a ribeye? Can you can you cook something on the stove? Right? Do you want children? How many have you actually been in bed with? How many have you hauled around with? Have you committed adultery maybe as well? That sense you know. Now, of course, we all have our issues, and of course, we're all sinners and all that, transgressors of God's law and all that. But it's like women just totally like hundreds of damage count. Like, who wants a slut? Who wants to have have a whore, a cheap whore that just spread her legs for everybody, pretty much. Who as a man wants that? Like, you gotta be kidding me. You want a virgin. Like, what's the point in regards of marriage, right? You have the black, right? And then you have the white dress. The white dress in regards of pureness, in regards of being pure. How many women do you think is pure today? Maybe nearly zero, Very few women are pure when they get married, right? And of course, in the marriage, the father is the authority over the woman. So the father gives the woman over to the husband, and now the husband owns the woman. It's like, oh, I want to, you women, you want to be owned, okay? You want to know that you're owned by a man, and that's just, and all the complaining and bullshit and all that, and your misdirection and saying something, and actually, like, I remember when I was younger in regards to one of these women forums, right? And a woman was asking her in regards of getting what do you call it? Eyes on her, right? And some woman said, you can do this and this, and then you will get all the unintentional intention that you want, or what is called in English. It's like, then you will get all the intention that you don't want that you want. Something of that nature in English, right? I was like sitting, what in the world? The thing is that she wants attention, but she doesn't want, the man to know that she actually wants the attention. She wants to have it's so disgusting. These men are just, they're looking at me and this and that. And like, yeah, you're kind of clothing yourself as a whore, right? And most of you actually are doing that, right? And all these red flags, like, women have red flags all over them these days. Like, you go to the beach and what do you see? Tats all over their body. I like, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Well, at least you know who to not, And the nails, the new thing in regards to the nails. I guess we had some kind of nails in the past, but it was still like kind of on a lower level. Now today, these stinking, filthy nails. Like, you just get the ick, Like, what, it's like, what? And you can tell the women it, and they just, I want it's for me and all that. Yeah, well, it's not for me, that's for sure, And that's also a thing, right? When women like, oh, well, I needed to pay for the makeup, I need to pay for this and that, and we got blow up my, and like, it's so dishonest, and you have these images of women as well. And if you're looking for a blue-eyed blonde with long hair and all that, right, slim and all that, right, well, it's kind of hard to find when women just dress up as something they're not, right? They will like contact lens, they have, different hair things, they can just fix thing and all that. They blow things into their lips and whatever, I think it's called Botox or whatever bullshit. And they like, boom, put things in their breast, like, and the bottoms and all, just thinking, just filthy, like, it's disgusting. Yeah, it's disgusting. These women are doing it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe some men like it. I think it's absolutely disgusting. It's just a total turn off. I just, why are you focusing on all these bullshit things? Go get in the kitchen and make me some food, right? It's kind of, that's something you can kind of, that's just the thought about a woman in the kitchen, kind of. Oh yeah, that's a good thought, right? Cooking food. It's like, yeah, great, awesome, right? Anyway, but all this bullshit of the, no, 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 like, look at me like lips and all. Like, give me a break with the bullshit. And again, you don't know with hair color because they dye the hair in so many ways and all that. So you don't even know if it's a blonde. Like, oh, she's a blonde, right? I like blondes, right? Okay. Oh, she's not actually a blonde, right? And you can begin to see and it's been opened up so much these days because I was so, I guess, blind to these things in the past. And of course, they also have the further filters and the mobiles and all that. And they wanted to say that, oh, we are the most beautiful gender. Well, if you're so beautiful, why are you doing all the bullshit, Why are you faking, right? Everything is pretty much fake with you women, Like, look at me, I'm natural. Oh, yeah, I have a good stomach and all that, and I'm too fat and so forth, and that's just how it is, But I'm natural, right? Well, I guess the glasses might not be so natural, but it's kind of not kind of a... it's pretty clear that those are not, natural things and all that. But everything else is pretty much natural, I don't put a lot of paint in my face, right? There's actually none. And I just look as I look. All the faults and all that, whatever, it's there and all that. I'm natural, right? But you see women and they paint one layer after another layer after another layer after another layer. It's not even her, and that's another disgusting thing, right? When it's now so opened on the internet, right? So you can see when they're talking and bullshitting and blah 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 blah, right? And they do all their painting and all that, and you can see the before and after and all that, and it's like you're just sitting there. It's like it's so deceptive, it's not even you. And then you will say, well, I need to pay for all this bullshit, I don't even want it. As a man, I just want to see your natural you, Like, why would I go out and like date a painting? It would be more honest to actually just take a painting with me, put on the table, and put it in front of me. I guess it won't talk too much either, and blah 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 blah. Right? I can as there will be a nice silent night out, and of course it's also cheaper because the painting don't eat much. But anyway, it seems more honest to actually take a painting with you, and maybe it's like it's just stupid, So all the paint that these women, you can really see the difference, and I remember one of these women I met over the internet like over 10 years ago. I guess that's the last woman I've been with for since after becoming a Christian and all that. But anyway, not to say that I'm perfect in any way. I still have my issues of things, But anyway, so I saw this, I found this woman on Facebook, right? And she looked good, pretty good, yeah, sure, So I end up meeting her in real life. Although the first thing that we had, apparently something happened and whatever and all that. But anyway, who knows? She might have, played around. Who knows? Anyway, so the next day I saw her and all that, and I was like, no, she didn't even look like what she, I haven't been on many dates and all that, so. But anyway, but she didn't even look like what she looked on the painting or in the picture, And and after having met her, and it wasn't really, it's like I wasn't really interested overall. It's just because it just tended those things that kind of made me. And I guess he was also going for the 30s. I guess he was 27 or 28 or something like that. So I guess he was also at the level where they're trying to, hook someone down. But anyway, and I saw pictures after she found another guy, right? And up with her, and again she had makeup on and all that, but I know that's fake. And I wasn't like, what do you call it, red pilled or whatever at that point in regards. As I was like, I kind of was surprised the first time I saw her in real life, because it wasn't, it kind of, the woman on the picture looked a whole lot better, but of course she had all this paint on. Whereas when she met me, she just natural look, and it's not like, but I felt like I was deceived, which of course it is. It is deception, because it's not. It's like if I take a painting and put up of someone else, or something like that. That's this, and saying, "Oh, this is me," Oh, I have, whatever, I'm just, oh, I'm this, I'm Brad Pitt or whatever, Brad Pitt, whatever, I don't know. But anyway, and say, oh, that's me and all that. Yeah, yeah, let's go out and all that, and then I come out and look like this. Yeah, that's the real me, Yeah, that's just a picture, and I use that. Yeah, it's on the good days. That's pretty much me on the good days, right? Whatever. It's just so bullshit, it's disgusting. So anyway, so you kind of, like, you see the person and like, oh, she, like, and then you see the person in real life. You see the picture first, right? And then you meet her, and it's like, it's not even her on the picture, pretty much. It's just, it just doesn't like compare, and then after she found someone else, and I saw a picture after her, again with the makeup and all that, like, she was like, she really could do her makeup and all that, and she looked like wonderful. But really, without the makeup, it was just, and again, the makeup is deception and fake, It's like, it's fake. It's all fake, And this is like what women do. And this model, how much bullshit has she put on? How many of the things has she actually removed from her face? How many layers is on her face, Yeah. Let's see some natural thing, right? Instead of this bullshit, right? And that's the thing, right? Women are worth pretty much nearly nothing these days, it's just all deception, and it's all a show. It's all, what do you call it? They're so good to playing the act, and trying to lock you down and all that. Let them get their cats and all that. I'm sick, and it's sickening to see what women do, and clearly they are not preparing themselves for a man, They do everything else. The boss babes, there's, yabby 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 yabby, right? You sit in a room and 2 minutes you're like, okay, I need to get out of this room, because there's too much, And when men come home from the job, and women complain about them leaving again at the very moment nearly, I didn't understand that in the past, right? But I understand it now, right? You have been on work all day long. You come home to a woman, like, a rainy day, it's like, oh, I'm going to go down and get a beer, and have some silence, and not complaining and nagging and all that bullshit and all that. Like in the old, like in the 70s and the 60s and whatnot, and you can see some of these, how to please a man when he comes home, right? Fix and this and that, in regards to the children and all that, But absolutely nothing in regard to that. Of course, women don't value men at all. Like, oh, we don't need men. Oh, we do need them, but we don't need them any. Really, So blah 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 blah. But anyway, and I can really understand. A lot of the people just going their own way. It's just you get into so much of this nonsense with these women these days. So I can understand why, just it seems to be a waste of time. And the damage count, which I don't know why they call it like it's a damage number, I call it, what did they call it? Your number, your thing, and they pride themselves about it, right? It's like incredible. Like showing, oh, see how many I actually, did. Yeah, I don't think you're for me. And who knows if that number is actually honest, right? It might actually be a lot higher. But yeah, no, that's not for me. But anyway, the wedding dress, in regards of whiteness, in regards of purity, how many women do you think are pure these days when they get married? How many have played the hall and been out there and all that, right? And then of course in regards of the newborn single mother, Christians, whatever, it's like, the women do so much deception, and why would you as a man take care of another man's child? Because you know that women love doing the, run around, playing the whore, then she becomes pregnant, and why would you as a man, and of course in regards of a woman having had an abortion, again, totally like murdering. Why would like this? It's like marrying a murderer. She murdered her child, her own child. Like, why would you marry a whore, a murderer? And of course, they can play their games and all that and fake a lot of things. It seems to be a lot more natural to women than to men. To just play the act. And then she changes after things and all that. You find out you're actually married to a witch. A rebellious witch. But she was different beforehand. Yes, she needed to lock you down, and that's why you don't get a woman that is over 25 years old. So 25 years old is the last number you want to play around with or, seek out for marriage, That's just, after 25, it becomes too risky. And she's, that begins the clock begins to tick, and she needs to lock down a man. So 25 is the maximum year that it doesn't matter how old you are as a man. If you are 90 years old as a man, you still look for a woman that is under 25 years old if you are not married. Now, I'm not saying that you need to like, after 25, you throw them away. No, that of course would be wrong. But what you're looking for is a marriage partner. And if you don't have a marriage partner and you're looking for someone, you need to find someone that is 25 years or younger. You don't want to go, because again, they're more honest, because they don't have the clock ticking, click, 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 tick, 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 tick. So 25 years or younger. And of course, if you can find one, a virgin, Of course, some women apparently think that virgin just means in regards of not having, so they do all sorts of other disgusting, filthy things, and they still believe that virgin is like, yeah, well, anyway, it's just a mad house, So yeah, 25 or younger, is the, and I can't remember in Denmark how far it actually goes down. I think it might actually be 15 that we are allowed to go. But it's interesting how the laws, apparently I've heard that you can first get married at 18, but you're allowed to have sex before that. But of course, you don't need the government. Fuck the government, Who cares about the government? The government are like, give them these, The government are just full of bullshit, go to the law of God, in regards to the Bible, and tell the government to, because the government has so many bullshit laws that doesn't make any sense and this and that. Well, like, how is it that it's okay to whore around when you're 15 if you can't marry the person before 18, You're kind of pushing for making women into whores, because of course you should actually have sex after marriage, right? Not before marriage, So yeah, And of course, biblically, actually, if you actually lay down with a virgin, you can actually be forced to taking her as a as a wife and take care of her the rest of your life. Now, with that in mind, as a man, you might think, "Uh-oh," they might think a little more about things before you actually do something, right? If you just want like a quickie and all that, but actually can end up being needing to take care of that woman for the rest of your life, you might think it over a little more. That maybe that's not worth it, because this woman is actually terrible. Just because you want a little, quickie to release so yeah, there's some rules in the Bible in regards of things. Whatever the case, if you actually damage a virgin, you are to pay the price to the father, because the woman is under the authority of the father. Again, a woman is never equal to a man. Okay, that's just how it is. The man is always above the woman. Of course, God is above the man. So you have God, man, woman, children, pretty much. That seems to be the approach that we have. So, in regards to the authority, so God at the top, the man next, and then the woman, and then the children. There you go. So yeah, that's all this equality is absolutely rubbish. And of course, the women, of course, if you look at it, it's rubbish, because they want equality, so-called equality, at some places, which is actually not equality. But anyway, but some other places, oh no, they don't want anything to do with equality on these places, right? So they can't. It's just bullshit. So there's no equality. The man is always on top. The woman is always under here. The man always has the highest authority. Now, of course, if the man is not following God and all that, and the woman begins to follow God, of course, God is still the highest authority in regards to this. So but overall, you have the man higher authority than the woman, and then God on top of this. So yeah. So yeah. But yeah. So this is equality bullshit is what it is. It's bullshit, because there's some things that women kind of want in a man, and there's also what a man wants in a woman. And of course, that has been totally confused, because the devil is making everything upside down and all that on purpose. And now, of course, we have so much confusion and sodomy and whatnot, and grooming of children and cutting off their things and all. It's just disgusting, and we can't really speak much about it, against it and all that, because the world is absolutely gone mad on so many levels. So yeah, what a mad world we live in. Absolutely mad. On so many I was thinking about something, but I can't remember. Let's just eat a little more egg. Oh yeah, we should. Oh yeah, let's get some. Oh, we want to try the ecological thing. Of course, that would actually talk to people. Oh, it's ecological, but there's not that much tomato in it. Let's get some tomato. Yeah. It looks a little like, I guess, in regards to, you think a little about women periods, sadly, but it usually tastes pretty good, in regards of the salt here and all that. In regards to the eggs, you mix it up. I ate a lot of eggs in my youth, because we had hens, and some salt and some ketchup and all that, and some eggs that still is soft inside the yellow and all that, and just mix it together. You can put it on a pan and then mix it up at the last part with the ketchup and all that, and that's actually pretty good. But it doesn't look so good, but it tastes pretty good. Anyway. Nah, I'm still with this one. I'm still with the BV's thing, or whatever. BWAS, whatever. Which I can't say, Should I have a Danish name instead, Instead of a French name. Yeah, I'm absolutely for the other one. Of course, women like the education bullshit as well, right? Educated boss babes, right? Like, and the thing is, they need an education and then they need a career, and all of a sudden they're 40, fat and finished, a little like myself. Although I'm a man, so I should, if I, I should be able to turn things around. But anyway, but this whole world has just absolutely gone mad, and it tears you down on so many levels, and it's only getting worse and worse and worse and worse. There doesn't really seem to be any like good thing on the horizon, besides of course when this Roman beast is going to be destroyed, but we still have a good amount of time for that. Of course, we first need to have this Roman world order, in its total madness and all that. And of course, it's closing. I can't buy or sell anything nearly pretty much on the internet anymore. So we see already some, the system in effect in regards to not being able to do things if you don't follow along with the system. The digital, tyrannic, diabolical system of jail. Anyway, so yeah. So in regards to this, she discounted 50,000, and some of these questions that she gave in regards to these people sounds like utter rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. Get down in the kitchen, woman. Make me some food. Go down and shop. Give me some ribeyes. Or wash my clothing. Do something that actually have some purpose. Have my children. And yeah, in regards of working for another man, educated in university bullshit and being a boss babe of absolutely like hating men and yet wanting to be a man and all that. It's delulu, it's delusional. And of course these women usually projects their own issues over onto others. It's interesting how women does that, right? All the things that they have of issues, they tend to tell, oh, it's the men, oh, the men are this and the men are that. And I was like, they are just projecting their absolutely own issues onto the men, Like, they're just absolutely delusional, it's like mental madness, and they're filled up with all this garbage, all the wisdom from the past, women and all that, pretty much gone, Like in the past, we actually had lexicons for women in regards of their area of things, right? In regards to having children, in regards to taking care of the house, and all sorts of things in regards to sewing and whatnot. You had whole lexicons for women. Directly for women. Right? That sounds pretty good, I think. Um, you know. But now we can't have that. We can't have, wisdom in regards of making good food and keeping our, family healthy, and our husband healthy, so he can stand against all the madness of the devil, because women are not going to do it, because women are so easily misled by the devil. And if you don't have the man on the front line, because the support is not there, the nutrition is not there, they're actually hated by those they try to protect. Well, then the front line becomes weak and the devil comes right into the nation and ruins everything. And we don't have that many men actually standing up, because they don't have that support anymore. So the men don't, they don't see they don't see why they should actually stand up anyway, because what are they going to get by it? But it's still the right thing to stand up against the devil's madness and all that. But the whole idea is having a man and a woman to support the man, to stand against the devil, lies and deceptions, and in regards to all the sin that he is promoting to ruin everything. Yeah. But when you hate God, right, that's kind of a problem if you don't believe that the devil exists and the demons is around us, in the West, the demons are hiding pretty good, but they do exist. Now in South Africa, no, sorry, South America and Africa, it's more. It seems to be more mainstream that they understand that there's these entities. They seem to be a little more, what do you call it, in the open. And in the West, they tend to hide a little more, so a lot of people have no idea that, yeah, we are surrounded by demons, and there's a lot of evil works and darkness. And if we don't stand against that, well, then there will only be more darkness. So the whole idea with the woman, of course, she was also made as a helpmeet. The woman is made to help the man. So the man can take care of other things and focus on the front line in regards to the attacks of the devil, while the woman takes care of him, in regards of support and in regards of, nutrition and all that. Like if you have a front line in a nation, right, and all the soldiers, all the man soldiers are surrounding and protecting the nation, if they lose the support from the nation, from the inside nation, in regards of things, they and lose in regards of food, they're not fed, the morality is going to go way down and there will begin to be weakening in the defenses. And then the devil comes and take it all over and ruin the families, and everything pretty much is, yeah, turned upside down. So any woman that talks about equality, that's what it is. Equality in regards to women, that's the fingers. There's no equality. There's no equality in regards to the man is always above the woman. That's just how it is. The man leads, the woman follows. Okay. If the woman wants to commit murder, the man's job is to say no. Now, of course, the man can also check if the woman actually committed adultery, because there might be a reason why, maybe she played the whore and committed adultery, which of course she could be stoned for, by the way, including the one that actually did it with her. But anyway, that's a whole other thing in regards of when women, goes with another man and they actually end up ruining that husband that they were with and stealing his children and his resources and all that. She shouldn't be able to do that, because that's lawlessness upon lawlessness. It's a criminal act upon a criminal act. Now, actually, it would be mercy if the husband just, released her from, but she shouldn't be able to further commit transgression and take the husband's resources or the children, because she could be stoned for the transgression. She could actually be killed for the transgression. It's a very serious crime to commit adultery. So if the woman committed adultery while being in a marriage, she could be stoned with the ones that she did it with, and thereby she would be dead. So actually, it's an act of mercy if you just let her go, That would be an act of mercy, but she should not be, seeking out the state to further do anything against you, because you could legally actually stone her. Yeah. Anyway, according to God's law, Of course, we are to forgive others and all that. It's just to show that she is in the wrong, and if she put wrong upon wrong upon wrong, it's evil, So she shouldn't be able to further commit transgressions, and of course the governments absolutely should not help in regards of committing evil acts, but of course the governments in this world are usually evil, so they tend to help evil on their way and all that. Anyway, so what was for thinking about? Oh yeah, so if you find your woman being pregnant and all that, well, then you are going to say to the woman, if she wants an abortion, no. You're going to say no, and then you're going to have the child. But of course, there might be a reason why she wanted the abortion. The thing is, you can't trust women, sadly. There's it's so many times, they show it again and again and again that you can't trust women. So of course you will get a test for the child, so if you actually, if it's actually your child. If it's your child, you just saved your own child, which is also the right thing to do, of course. And as the head of the house and the family, that's your duty to save your children. So if you find out, yeah, it was your child and all that, that's great. Then she didn't commit adultery. But of course, the woman might actually want an abortion because she maybe played the whore or harlot and committed adultery. Now, by the way, in regards of whoring and adultery, is kind of, you can whore and commit adultery, but whoring doesn't necessarily mean that you're committing adultery, because adultery in regards to the marriage, in regards to the marriage, So if you're not married, you're just whoring. Of course, whoring can lead to you actually being needed to pay the price for the woman, and then you need to take care of her the rest of your life. And you have to think about, do you actually want to take care of her the rest of your life? So there can also be consequences in regards of committing whoring and all that, which, if these things were followed, there would be, a lot of men would hold back in regards of things. And yeah. But of course now the doors are just open for men to pretty much have some fun, and that's pretty much only what they see women to be, actually, because, women are, a lot of women, most women are a headache. You don't want to be with them long, pretty much 2 minutes a day is pretty much, well, maybe 2 minutes twice a day, 3 times a day. But anyway, that's enough for most men. Then they just want to leave, these women. I don't know, like women expecting like a huge show in like 10 minutes or 20. I'm like 10 minutes. I'm like, 10 minutes. Like, it's like, wasted too much time on that. Anyway, like 10 minutes? Are you kidding me? Who wants to waste time, 10 minutes of time? Like, let's get it over, Anyway, oh well. Anyway, so yeah, yeah. So that's a lot of things in this society that is absolutely just failure, because we don't go back to the law of God. If we went back to the law of God, we would understand that there are some things that we shouldn't do. Like when men commit adultery, if they actually sleep with another man's wife, well, they can be stoned as well. Both the wife and the adulterer could be stoned. They could be killed, both of them. It wouldn't be considered murder. Murder is to commit a killing that is, but in regards of a criminal act, here we see the thing being actually, what do you call it? It's a very, very, and I'm not saying that, I should have been killed a lot of time in my non-Christian days, and we're all sinners and all that, and that's also, we need to forgive others and all that. But if a woman commits adultery with another man and the husband just releases her, that should be seen as an act of mercy. And even if he goes so far to actually just forgive her and keep her, of course he can also, forgive her and release her, in regards of not having the hatred bubbling up, or but anyway, the thing is, if the husband releases her so she can run away with this other guy that probably also will dump her later on, and whatnot, it should be seen as an act of mercy on behalf of the man. Because the woman and the lover boy could actually have been stoned for their adultery. It's a very, very serious thing to do. You're taking your neighbor's wife, So you're breaking all the commandments are hanging on those two commandments in regards of loving God and loving your neighbor. Well, you're not following the commandments of God if you are laying with your neighbor's wife. So you're already breaking the commandment that God put forward. And further, you're breaking the commandment of loving your neighbor as yourself because you are laying with his wife. That's not very loving, is it? No. And when you have broken those two commandments, and in regards of adultery, you can be stoned for that. You know, um, that's the sentence. Or that's the punishment. You could actually be stoned for that act. Now, there's other things that you could actually be stoned for, and I should have been stoned multiple times in my lifetime, which would be a righteous thing, pretty much, or it wouldn't be but that it wouldn't be like because we all are sinners and we tend to commit a lot of transgressions against God's law. We don't even know God's law anymore. We're following man-made bullshit, all sorts of Roman nonsense and all that. The devilish thing, turning things upside down so good becomes bad and bad becomes good. Salt becomes sugar and sugar becomes salt and all that. We are flipping things around, flipping things around. So we believe, oh, that's just standard, right? It's a human right to murder your own child, Like, when did that become a human right to be able to murder your own child, It's disgusting. Absolute depravity, satanic, evil, homosexuality and sodomy and all that. Evil, evil, evil. Grooming of children. Evil, evil, evil. We're told to instruct our children in the truth. Now we're instructing them in fairy tales and confusing them on a lot of levels. It's an abomination for a man to have women clothing on, feminize themselves. And in regards of a woman becoming a man, in regards of all the confusion, it's an abomination. It's an absolute evil act. So, and we have so much confusion, and it's been normalized through the television bullshit box, I could see it in my youth, which is, I guess, a lot of years ago, 25 years, I guess, somewhat of that. I could see it in the bullshit box that now today are just a flat piece of square box and all that. In the past, we had like these boxes, anyway. Now, apparently people couldn't see that it was normalized, but now we have other things that is pushed for normalization through, and actually I threw my television out. Sadly, the internet has now become so mainstream and you're not allowed to speak your mind anymore, and you're going to be persecuted and all that. But yeah, so this woman, in regards of rejecting 5,000 men to apply for boyfriend role and all that, like, just look at the two images of her. It looks like two different women, and that's the thing, right? Women can do whatever, in regards of, and look totally different, who knows how much makeup bullshit she has put on her face and whatnot, or in regards of filters as well. Like, it's just incredible. It's just, to make them more beautiful, to look different. I don't know, So women are the most beautiful gender, and yet they do all these bullshit things, They're fakers, faking, deceiving, hormonal bullshitters, pretty much, Evil, wicked women. Yeah, that's true. In regards of, women are talking about, running after the bad boy and all that, right? Or maybe they are running after the bad boy because of demons as well. Because a lot of these women have rejected what? God, right? So the women are filling themselves with what? Demons, of course. And what does demons usually do? Well, they lead into more lawlessness, right? So the attraction for other bad boys with a lot of red flags or whatnot and all that, it's like, oh, I'm so attracted, but I know it's like, and then they run after him. Well, it might have a demonic aspect to it. People tend to forget that,
because they don't know that there actually is demons surrounding us, and they kind of lead into evil things. So if you as a woman are hating God and opening yourself up to the devil on so many levels, well, of course you would also open yourself up to being misled by the demons in the wrong directions for the ones they want you to be kind of emotional attached to, and do further sinning transgression of the law of God. So that's just something to. Women are seemingly much more able to be misled and opening themselves up to the devil than men, and thereby, Satan went to the woman first, and then through the woman hitting the man. So God was pretty angry at the man. What did you do? Well, the woman told me to, like, oh my, what? Why did you do that? It's like incredible. It's like, why did you do? You are the authority over the woman. You should have said no. Anyway, then it goes to the woman, and then goes to the snake, and all that, and all of them are pretty much punished from the beginning. After this. So, yeah. So men should not listen to the women, in regards of everything. There might be some things that might be okay, but usually you shouldn't just, and that's the thing, like, men are not saying, they're not saying no. They're just running after these whores who do all sorts of weird stuff, and ruining themselves on so many levels, and educating themselves in other bullshit, and going on the, career thing, and, playing the whore, murdering their children, hating men, yet wanting to be men, hating womanhood, you know, everything that has something to do with the real feminine values and all that, all the mixture and confusion of everything, and all of a sudden you have women that are attracted to other women because now they have masculine traits, because now they have become so masculine in regards of making the feminine more masculine and the masculine more feminine, and now there's a lot more confusion because now the things that the man usually liked with women and what women like with men in regards to their masculine values and the feminine values, the magnet is not, less, it's become more like this. So the magnet doesn't really, it doesn't, you know. Whereas when you have the masculine over here as a north pole, you have the feminine as a south pole, and it's like slam, right? And it stays together. But we don't have that any longer either, because it's everything is ruined. Everything is pretty much ruined on so many levels in society. So the things that women kind of, naturally well, and the same thing with the man, right? It's just not there any longer. So that's pretty much it. Anyway, that's all for me, I guess. I will eat some more. But yeah, the two pictures that we have in regards of her, it's, nearly doesn't look like the same woman either. Again, makeup can do a lot of. You can like have 10 pictures of the same woman, and they all look different. It just doesn't make any. You would think like also that women would actually keep natural because they would like a man that actually liked them for who they were in regards of like, I have a preference in regards of blonde hair, blue eyes, and long hair. Okay. But if I like, if I find a blonde, long haired, and blue eyed, and I find out there's actually contacts, and she's actually not white haired, and I have children with her, and the children comes out and they're not, you know, because she was deceptive, it's disgusting. Why wouldn't women not just be who they are? Because it's false advertising. And you want to attract someone who actually likes you for who you are, that actually likes that kind of thing, because we don't have the same preferences. Some men has other kind of preferences, and I, some like shepherd dogs or whatever, some like what is like, in regards to dogs, right? People like different kinds of dogs. They're still dogs, but they have different, different what do you call it? So I like what do you call it? The German dog, shepherd dog. I can't remember. But anyway, that's kind of I hate poodles in some sense, right? Poodles are like, what is that? But apparently classified as a dog, right? But anyway, we have different, in regards of what we want, right? Or what is it called? I'm missing the word here. But it's that's the same thing with women, right? As a man, I have some things that I like, and why would you deceive me into something that you're not, Like, why would you try to mislead me? Already at that point, it's a bad start, If I go, and also the makeup bullshit and all that, and I find out that the makeup actually is I didn't know about makeup in the past, so I didn't know that this was actually something that women did and all that. I was totally blind to it. But of course now it's so clear, and you can see all these women videos with makeup where they talk blah 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 blah, and they do the makeup and how much difference they can actually and all that. And of course I saw it myself in those days, where it's like I meet this woman that looks totally different than what I saw on the picture. Like, it's a whole nother woman now, it's like, and it's just weird, it's just, yeah, it's just terrible. False advertising. Anyway, so that's all, but yeah, we have a demonic issue in society. So, when women are having this issue that, oh, they're running after the bad boys, right? And also the thing where women are getting pregnant by bad boys, and then they find, a good man, whatever they want to call it, a man that is kind of to take care of the child, and they might actually deceive him and blah, 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 blah. But there might be some demonic reasons to that, because they also tend to hate God. Women are not, they're not godly anymore. They don't, they're just rebellious, Jezebels, They're just stinking Jezebels these days. And they usually hate God, because God is against all the things that they do. So who is left if they kind of reject God and leave God and all that? Well, who's left? The devil and the demons. Oh yeah. And they quickly run to him and those demons, And they will open themselves very easily up for these demonic entities. So again, that might be the thing that people might have missed in regards to why women then would be attracted to the bad boys, because they have rejected God and opened themselves up to demonic entities. Yeah, and I understand that a lot of people don't believe in demons and all that, but they do exist. It's very easy to get in contact with them if you know how. And of course, if you're actually going on the, on the good side, you also get in conflict with demons as well. They tend to bubble up from people as well and all that. But yeah, a lot of people have contact with demons these days, although they come in many disguises. They come as spiritual guides. They come as higher self. They come as, old dead family members, aliens of different kinds. Again, different ways that they can deceive people. Yeah. So, good gods and bad gods, they play the good cop, bad cop game and all that to deceive people, even if they are both on the same team, the devil's team. Yeah. So, they've been in the, what do you call it, the business of deception for a long, long time. A long time. So, anyway. Well, anyway, we are pretty much, we still have a good amount of white. I'm actually, that's a heavy one. So that's still a good amount. I thought, I was actually a little surprised that was pretty much nearly done with this, you know. But yeah, there's still a lot of whitey thing left. Apparently my mobile is nearly off of in regards to battery. Yeah, the egg has been a little cold here. But clearly, that's a bad, you know, the two other ketchups are not, nah. You know, yeah, Heinz is not, you know, bad, you know, it's an okay tomato, at least compared to the other ones. But I would still prefer this ketchup, you know, which again I can't spell out, but that's the ketchup I would suggest, you know. Beavis, whatever, Bawas, whatever. I don't know. I don't know if you can actually get it in other nations and all that. If it's a Danish product, I don't know if. But yeah, that's what I would prefer. The Heinz ketchup again, it's not bad. You know, it's just prefer the other one. But these other two, nah. Of course, what do you expect when you have like the cheapest option of like? It was very, very cheap, you know. In regards to one of them, I don't know about the other one. That might not be that cheap actually. But there's nearly no ketchup in it. So I don't know how they make it like. Yeah. Well, anyway. Here we go. Like a little picture of the yellow on the egg, right? That's pretty nice, you know. Opening in regards of. Yeah, there's still a lot of white stuff in it. For eating, it's still pretty heavy and it's still hot. I guess the coffee also has helped on that. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I wanted to say. And the question is, in regards to how old is this woman, right? Is she under 25 years old, you know? She might be, I guess. But if she's over 25, she's for the trash, okay? Leftover woman, you can't, you know, you know, and again, it's not like if you find a woman, a good wife, if that exists today, but if you find a woman anyway, and she's 25 or under, well, I'm not saying that you know, as a guy, I can't, was like that tends to dump them after they get to after 25. That's a sin, you know, that's not good. But you want to find a good woman, or at least hopefully the possibility that she's a good woman. Of course, many of them tend to, you know, be able to ruin the lives of the man on so many levels. But you want to at least you know, make the risk less, you know. You want to have the chance of actually finding a good woman, which might be impossible nearly. But at least, you know, you want to have your chances higher, and you keep it to 25 or under. And of course, if you can find a virgin, that would be the very best in regards of it. That actually has kept herself chaste and pure. Yeah. So, and of course, women and men are not the same in regards to these things. So, yeah. But so it's very important for a woman that she has a body count. Oh, that's just the word, right? Body count. It's like body count. That sounds like a thing to pride themselves about, and that also seems to be what some of them do, right? And some even having over 2,000 body count. But it's in my eyes that's the faulty way of saying it. It's not a body count. It's a damage number, and everything that is above 0 is bad. Anything that is, you know, anything that is above 0 is bad. So it's damage. It's damage. So a woman that is 25 years or younger, because then she will also be more honest in regards to how she really is, because the clock is not ticking, so she doesn't, it's kind of the time is not so much pressuring her to, you know, get to that point as of, you know, because she's still youthful. Now of course a woman tops at 20,
in regards of fertility. I actually thought it was 21, but I was mistaken according to the numbers. It's 20. So a woman's fertility tops as 20, and from there on, it's just downhill. Okay. So that's something to think about as well. So if you find a woman that is younger than 20, that's not bad. Because, of course, she's only going to get older and she's still going upward in regards of being able to get pregnant. And, of course, if she's younger, there might be less issues in regards to the child as well. And, yeah. So, yeah. And then you can also maybe have 15 children, if you're blessed enough for that. I wouldn't use any condoms or anything like that, or privatizations or anything like that. I would, does a lot of evil bullshit as well on that. Just take what you get from God, the prize or the jewel of a woman is her children, So if she has 15 children, that's a great jewel for a woman, So that's kind of her, glorious act to show off that she have 15 children, for example. Like that's mwah. In regards of showing off that she's a boss babe, a career and education and house, an empty house maybe with a cat or something like that, or multiple cats and all that. That's not really anything to show off for a woman. What a woman wants to show off is that she have 15 children and a healthy family that she is sustaining, and she's keeping the whole family healthy and together and all that. She's kind of the glue in the family to keep it all. Because when we lose that aspect, because again, it's a whole thing of itself to keep the family healthy, and of course of our days in this mad world and all that. Yeah, to buy the right things and to make the things and to take care of the children and all that, it's a whole job in itself. And but you want to have one child and then throw the child to the state,